So the 7 circles, what does this all mean for you? Well, if you've gotten one thing from today, I think it's that everything flows from the 7 circles. But perhaps a less obvious message is that until each circle is a living, breathing application in each of your lives, and most importantly in our students' lives, then it only remains a colorful, catchy slogan. Each of you is committed to student success in your own individual ways, and what you do is powerful. But until this is a collective project, until we can make it real in a comprehensive way, it remains on the page. Change is inevitable, and you're all feeling that in profound ways. We're very aware of that. We're asking a lot of you these days. We're getting directives from Sacramento, we're getting directives from here at the college, and it's challenging. But that's because a very real shift is going on in higher education. Each of you is here because you probably liked school. You probably liked it so much that you never left. And that's why you dedicated your life to being a servant in education. But not all of our students feel this way. Some of our students, most of our students, this is just a means to the end. But they're looking for that spark, that thing that will make them stay, that thing that will make education meaningful. And that's what you do in your classrooms, that's what we do all across campus. But there is a disconnect, because our students need a more focused environment than what we are providing. Currently, we have a hit or miss completion design. It's easy to enter, it's easy to drop out. Way too easy to drop out. We're front-loading the process, so students are oriented, packaged, welcomed, and assessed at the beginning of their college career. In other words, when they're probably the least likely to be able to understand what we're telling them, the least likely to really get it and to know how they're going to apply that to the rest of their college career. And finally, reforms are applied sporadically. Not all the really great things that are happening across campus individually are happening in the same way or accessible to all students. In order for the 7 circles to work, it takes a comprehensive approach from all institutional areas. Here's a little graphic to show you what it looks like from a student's perspective. This is what we think is happening. Students enter, students complete. Somewhere in the middle, there's stuff that happens, but it goes from point A to point B, and it works, right? Okay, a lot of our students, they enter, and maybe they join a learning community. Maybe they join a student club. Maybe they attend a financial aid workshop. Maybe they become a student mentor or get mentored. And then finally they complete, right? This is the successful student. This is what works. I'm sure a lot of you already went through some of these processes, right? This is what really happens, okay? And you can sum this crazy maze all up into 2 words. Life happens. Life happens and students disappear and we don't even know why. You know when a student is there in your classroom and then leaves. But what happens to that student that finishes your class, but then you never see them again? They don't go from one semester to the next semester. Or they go for several semesters. Or they have 80 units, but then they don't actually get a degree. We don't know what happens to these students, because this is what really goes on. So what do students really want? You saw this a few slides ago. This was an RP study, our research and planning group for the state. They did a 3-year study looking at students and hearing from students' perspective what they really want. They want direction. They want to develop a plan from start to finish. They want to focus. They want to develop the skills to reach their goals. They want nurturing. This is the one that really resonated with me, because what it says is that students want us to care about them. They want to believe that their success is what we want. We know that a student wants to be successful, but they want to know that we want them to be successful. When I was a student, my freshman year in college, I wanted to be a musical theater actress. And we had a guest lecturer for my freshman year who was teaching a musical theater class. And this was a class that everybody wanted to get into. He was a big wig. He wasn't one of our regular instructors. He came from New York. He was a big director, very important person. So I got into the class, and my very first time standing up in front of this person and singing, he absolutely creamed me. I mean, from start to finish, everything was wrong. I was completely devastated. So the next day, I made an appointment to see this instructor, thinking, okay, the arts is a difficult profession. This is something that's really hard. He's trying to toughen me up. He's going to tell me that, he's doing me a favor. He's making me tough. Rejection is part of the process. I got to get used to it, right? So I went in to see this instructor, and he did something that I didn't expect. And what he told me is, you're never going to make it. You're no good. And he went down a whole laundry list of why I was never going to make it. And every time I tell this story, I still feel the devastation of that moment. As a student, a very young and inexperienced student, for somebody that powerful to tell me that what I wanted to do was no good and that I was not capable of doing it, it was devastating. It was so devastating that I almost left school. And I certainly was considering changing my major. Fortunately, I had some good instructors who told me, no, that's not right. You're going to get better. And when I left school and I had a long career as an actress and as a singer, this is what I did. I sent this person a playbill, a newspaper article. Every time my name was mentioned about doing anything, this guy got a letter from me. I never put my name on it. I never told him why. And you know what? I really don't expect he even knew who I was. But it made me feel better, and it made me angry, and it made me promise that I would never do that to another student, never. Because it's not what we do. And every student's dream is valuable and important, and they need to know that we care about them. So this is what we're doing at Cerritos. We have a task force going on right now that's a group of faculty and counselors and managers and staff putting together a comprehensive pathway for completion and everything that involves. Instead of just talking to our students when they begin their career at Cerritos, when they end their career at Cerritos, or when they're not doing very well at Cerritos, we want to design a pathway that looks at what do students need when they enter? What do students need that have less than 30 college credits? How about students who have more than 30 college credits? What about students who are ready to graduate? You heard Dr. Clifford talk about letting a student know of his options, and it changed his life. So we want to do that with every single one of our students. And so we're looking through how do we design the touch points for every student, because different phases in your academic career require different support. And that's what we want to do here at Cerritos. We want to turn student success into action, not just what we say we want to do. We want it to be a living, breathing thing, not just a pretty graphic. Each of you are doing this in your own way, but the power of one can be the power of all. And that is the thing that we want to make our commitment to at Cerritos. We want to be #1 in student success. So what can you do? See the world from a student perspective. First and foremost, it's so incredibly important. We all know what we want to accomplish in our classrooms, in our offices, on campus, but see it from a student perspective. Be leaders. Don't get stuck in the negative energy. Don't sweat the small stuff. Bring everything back to what do students need. Pick a circle and understand it, how it aligns across the campus. Make it your own. Start every conversation with the student with 3 questions. What is your major? How long have you been at Cerritos? What is your ultimate goal? Any one of those questions can be answered, that's asked can be answered in a way that will help you guide a student And what you do to guide a student, just that one simple thing might make all the difference. It may change a student's life. It might be that student that I was thinking about, maybe this isn't for me, maybe I'm not supposed to be here. Your intervention at that critical point, you may never know, but it may make the difference. Finally, remember to be ambassadors of student success in your classroom, your community, your office area, on campus, and everywhere you go. Institutions don't change lives, but people do. I hope that you will walk out of here today with a commitment to change just one thing in what you do every day here at Cerritos. Just one thing. Take something from what you heard today and do one thing. Make that change and be a part of changing student lives here at Cerritos College. Thank you very much.